How often do you have to rise to a challenge at work or in your personal life? How often do you have negative thoughts or unpleasant feelings and have to take steps to lift your mood? As humans, we are constantly faced with challenges and situations that test us. And those of us who've developed the skills to understand ourselves, regulate our feelings, and be more resilient are much more successful in dealing with those challenges. These skills can be taught. As a foundation, teaching children the emotional literacy skills they need to understand feelings, to recognise them, to express them, and to deal with them is vital if they're to become successfully functioning adults. Just like a baby learns to speak, so instead of crying when they're hungry or frustrated, they can tell you what they need. Developing a child's emotional literacy skills gives them the tools to articulate how they're feeling and better understand their behaviour. Teaching them the nuances of feelings, that there is a greater variety than just feeling happy or sad or angry, which are the feelings that most of us use as a general description for how we feel, gives them a wide vocabulary to express themselves. Once they've expressed how they feel, it's been proven that the intensity of the feeling is actually reduced in the brain. So this in itself is such a powerful tool. Clinical psychiatrist Dr. Dan Siegel coined the phrase "name it to tame it" for this exact reason. When a child can recognise and name exactly how they feel, it also helps adults around them manage the child. The conversation that would be had with a child feeling angry will be different to the one that's had with a child feeling embarrassed or powerless. As well as this, it's important we teach children how to cope with uncomfortable feelings and give them the tools and techniques to help them shift these feelings to more pleasant ones. The focus of many schools is on children with obvious needs. They get support, and there are often some interventions in place to help them. But what about those children who are seemingly okay? Those who don't speak out, but may be experiencing challenges that they don't know how to express, or that they don't deem important enough to voice until it's too late. There is a whole group of middle children, those who aren't the obvious strugglers, nor the ones coasting through life, but the ones in the middle who on the outside seem okay. They may come from a warm, loving home. They're not obviously neurodiverse. They get on with their schoolwork without too much fuss, but inside they may be struggling with something. And what about the top tier students, those who sail through life at a younger age, but still need to develop the skills for the times when they too may be vulnerable or face challenges? Their fall when things go wrong can be far greater, and they're often underprepared and without the necessary skills that they need to cope, because they've progressed through life with relative ease up to that point. It's essential that we give all children the knowledge, understanding, and skills to help themselves and develop a sense of agency. We need to teach children that we're all human, we all face challenges, and that we can all recover from these and become stronger and more resilient in doing so. By taking a whole school approach to well-being and giving everyone a voice and the emotional literacy skills they need to express themselves, it means we capture not only those with special educational needs, who are clearly on teachers' radars, but also the middle children and even those in the top tier, giving them a voice, the confidence to speak out, and reducing the number of children suffering in silence. Ensuring that well-being is at the heart of a child's education means it becomes second nature. They will see people sharing and articulating their feelings all around them. So when they're in need, it will be far easier for them to open up. The brain's neuroplasticity allows it to reorganise pathways, create new connections, and in some cases, even create new neurons. The first few years of a child's life are a time of rapid brain growth. By the age of 5, it's 90% the size of an adult's. During this time, the brain is making new neural pathways as the child learns and experiences different things. The average adult, however, only has about half that number of different pathways. Why? Because as we gain new experiences, some connections are strengthened while others are eliminated. Neural pathways that are used frequently develop stronger connections. Those that are rarely or never used eventually die. Not only this, it's harder as an adult to strengthen new neural pathways because there are other really strong pathways already formed. We have to work super hard to change the way we think and the way we do things because our neural pathways are so well embedded. Just like trying to find a route through an overgrown field, it's much easier to follow the well-trodden path. This is why as adults, it's so hard to do something new or break a habit. Making a new path across that field takes effort. When the brain is young, that effort isn't even a consideration. So what if we could help children create positive neural pathways from the start? So the negative, well-trodden paths don't even form. Positive pathways that would mean they think creatively, they have no fear of failure, they're optimistic and don't listen to negative thoughts. The pathways that tell them that they can do anything that they put their mind to. Well, we can. Our programme teaches children as young as 3 or 4 to think positively, to be grateful and optimistic, to be compassionate and kind, to have inner strength and resilience, so they can put their mind to anything and not be fearful of failure. Teaching them these skills over and over will only strengthen those neural pathways until thinking positively is so ingrained it's second nature. The early years is the critical period when a child's brain is developing the connections that they need to be healthy, capable, successful adults. The connections needed for many important higher level skills like motivation, self-regulation, problem solving and communication are formed or not in these early years. It's much harder for these essential brain connections to be formed or rewired later in life. Hence why starting our programme with the very youngest children is crucial. In as little as 2 months of using our programme, over 80% of children feel safer, happier, kinder, better able to regulate their feelings, and better able to help others recover from difficult feelings. So we're not only helping children develop a sense of agency, we're actually helping them co-regulate within their school community. By creating an inclusive environment where children know it's okay to be vulnerable and it's okay to share, we're strengthening school communities and creating a future generation of emotionally intelligent and thriving adults.